When do you want me to send that? Oh, not yet, right? Just before. I'm ready. I've got it queued up.
Mm-hmm. You know it, bro. You know it. We
Lean back.
are back. We are back. This is going to be our segment here, and it's going to be on the sort side. So we will say
swords.
Yes, we will do this. Swords. And we will also do the.
Where do you think you're going? I'm going to sort it out.
All right, so we got all that going on right now. Sorts. This is the 25% of the show. We have what we're going to be talking about here is how is this only? How is this actually? And this is about a Rotten Tomatoes. So there are scores that are compiled. Everybody knows what Rotten Tomatoes is now. You have it gets assigned a score from all the critics. It gets assigned a score from all the audience members, and you can pick kind of what you want to think. Like you want to just. How is the audience only giving this, or how are the critics giving this only, or how is this actually rated this high, or how's the audience thinking that this is this good? We want your opinion on this as well, and we are going to pick a couple of videos, a couple of movies, and I will go first.
Okay. And then I will respond.
And you will respond.
And just to let people know, neither one of us has any idea which movie.
Right.
The only thing we did indicate was that you are going to do a how is this only,
right,
and I am doing a how is this actually, and then we'll reverse roles in coming.
Yeah, so and mine's gonna be how is this only, which means I think the Rotten Tomato score is way too low. And you are going to give me yours. He's gonna send me a screenshot of his when he announces it, so this way there's no surprise, and then I will be able to put it up on the screen for you guys. Right. So as of right now, I'm gonna do mine, and mine is how is this only. And that is an iconic movie. This is it's an iconic movie on so many stages, so many realms. Because one, it parodied one of the greatest movies of all time. Two, it also has one of the most iconic parody directors of all times and writers. He is a brilliant man. And this movie is actually only ranked a 59% on the tomato meter. It actually bombed at the box office. And that is Spaceballs.
Oh, yeah.
Spaceballs is a 59% on the tomato meter. It is one of the most iconic movies. Everybody knows. You say something about your shorts, and everybody is like, I see your shorts is as big as mine. And they know Dark Helmet. They know.
Extremely quotable movie.
Oh, it's such a great movie. Yogurt. There's so much that's great about that. Merchandising. Combing the desert. There's so much greatness that's about this.
What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken? It's classic. It's an all-time comedy. It is. 59%. That is 59%. Now, granted,
only 39 was counted because obviously this was done.
Right. It was a different time.
Different time, different age. Yeah. But 59% on Rotten Tomatoes, and on top of that, bombed at the box office. But made a killing in sales on video and DVD.
Probably still does pretty well in digital sales, I would imagine.
I'm certain it does. I mean, it's a tremendous movie, and it's a movie that they have talked about a sequel.
I was actually just going to bring that up. I can't think of a movie off the top of my head that has been more clamored about and requested as a sequel than Spaceballs. Like, seriously. Like, people have wanted a Spaceballs sequel forever. And then, but Rick Moranis, after the tragic passing of his wife, said, you know what, I have higher priorities. I need to stay at home with my kids. I have children to raise.
And he still worked and everything like that, but he just wasn't as... He did a lot of voiceover stuff.
He was very selective. And but you know what? He was a great dad before anything else, and that's really what it came down to.
Yeah.
Because I think that movie probably would have happened. Mm-hmm. But
I think it still had the opportunity to happen, like just a couple of years ago. And they've really been talking about it over the last 5 years.
It still could, actually.
Absolutely.
I mean,
very relevant. Star Wars is back.
Oh my God!
They could make fun of so much.
Absolutely.
I mean,
oh my God! There's so much material.
So much material.
Holy crap! It's ridiculous.
It is. They could come out with a saga parody series, just like the Scream ones that they did.
Not South Park. Was it South Park actually that did the? Oh no! Family Guy. Family Guy did the the Star Wars parodies.
But like,
Those
but you could do those. You could, but like how Scary Movie parodied Scream and did a ton of them. You could very easily do a ton of those because there's so many Star Wars movies and there's so many ways to nitpick and pick and make fun of it.
Oh, it's
so many. If you guys have ever watched the Pitch Media guy, the Pitch Meeting guy, Ryan George, if you ever check him out on Screen Rant or anything like that, he has a ton of them and he picks on a lot of the Star Wars movies and it's hilarious. So definitely check those out if you have. All right, so that's mine. How is this only 59% at the box office? Although I will say, and this is still even low, audience 83%.
That's terrible. Should be in the 90s.
Easy.
In the 90s.
Easy.
Ugh, I almost dropped another F-bomb. That's a classic comedy.
Yes.
Okay, here just to like some perspective on this, in my opinion, I would put Spaceballs up there in a somewhat. Now, I love old comedies. National Lampoon's Animal House is one of my all-time 5 favorite movies. Literally, it's in my top 5 of favorite movies. So I love slapstick comedy because it's such a dead art. Nobody seems to be able to do it anymore.
No.
And Animal House. Airplane.
But you do see a lot of that stuff on YouTube, which is kind of funny.
You do, and that's kind of like.
But it's more like it's not slapstick; it's more it's like pain humor.
Yeah, it's weird, but they just don't make movies like Animal House or Airplane or Spaceballs anymore. Yeah. And I would put Spaceballs. I wouldn't quite have it as high. Again, this is just me as like an Animal House or an Airplane, but it's like right there.
Oh yeah.
In that next tier of greatness, and I just 59 is. That is unethical, Louis Riddick. Maybe not.
All right.
Unethical,
so what do you got?
It's reprehensible.
What do you got? You give me what you got. I'll work on it as soon as you send. Well, I'll get my reaction first because I want to see what you got here. Go ahead.
I had to choose this movie as my how is this actually? Because when people ask me, when they say to you, what do you think is the worst movie of all time? Every single time, it's this movie. Every single time. And this is tough for me to say because you know how much I love the horror genre.
Oh, yeah.
This movie is rated 62% by critics on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, by the audience, it's 44%. Also too high. This movie should be a 2, not a 62. 44 by audience. It should be a 4. If that. I truly believe this to be the worst movie of all time. And that movie is Cabin Fever. The worst movie of all time.
Send it to me, bro. Send it. All right, there it is.
Cabin Fever. 140 reviews on the tomato meter. 62% by critics. Have you seen this garbage? Did you actually watch it? Did you I wonder if the critics read one review and they were like, oh, I'll just leverage it. I'll piggyback off of this review. Maybe this is okay. And then it just sort of snowballed from there. Because if you've actually seen this movie, which is some of the hottest dumpster fire garbage I've ever seen. Basically, a bunch of kids go into the woods. One of them has a disease. They all get the disease, and they basically all die in grotesque ways. It's just the worst movie I've ever seen. I don't know how else to describe it.
How is it more gory than scary? Because if it's just
there's a lot of if
it's just a sickness.
It's a sickness, but their skin's bubbling, and there's their bodies kind of exploding from the virus or the sickness or whatever the hell it is. But listen, for as long as we do this segment, for as long as we do how is this actually or how is this only, you will only ever once hear me say this is the worst movie of all time. This is it. And somehow, some way, this white hot trash is at 62% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's no wonder people sometimes question Rotten Tomatoes. I don't, because I understand it's an algorithm-based thing and all that, blah, blah, blah. But this cuts to the heart of any critic's credibility that you could think that this movie was good. I'm sorry. It just does. I'm not sorry, actually. Terrible. Shame on you. Shame. 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 If you were one of the critics who actually had, at least the audience was somewhat more level-headed at 44%. Have you seen Cabin Fever?
No.
Oh, then don't.
I'm not a horror guy, so.
Right. Then just don't ever do. Just don't do it.
I mean, I have seen horror movies. Like, if I had one of the movies that I really, and I would have a hard time believing that it's worse than this, is The Happening. Like, that's
a bad movie.
That's a really bad movie.
It's terrible.
It's one of those that's hilarious.
Yeah,
like the acting, like Mark Wahlberg in that.
That was when M. Night Shyamalan was tanking, although I'm not sure what he was specifically tanking for.
Trying to get out of the spotlight of Steven Spielberg.
Maybe. I don't know what the hell he was trying to do, but he was tanking. That was smack in the middle of the M. Night Shyamalan tank. Lady in the Water kind of got it started. Then The Happening came, and he was like, okay, he's in full-on tank.
He's like, who can I get to play this role as a complete goober? Oh, Mark Wahlberg. Let's do that.
Mark Wahlberg. There we go. Yeah, that'll do. Perfect.
Whoa, absolutely not.
All I remember of The Happening was like, he'd walk outside every once in a while, and like the wind would just sort of be blowing through the cornfields. Was that like really it? What was happening?
Good stuff.
And I'm a big defender of M. Night Shyamalan, especially with movies like The Village, which I love. I love The Village. I think The Village is a phenomenal movie. In fact, The Village could end up showing up on this because I'm guessing that The Village, from a Rotten Tomatoes perspective, is probably not well rated. But I would be one of those I would be at its defense. But Cabin Fever? Oh my God. What is wrong with you? 62%, which is actually listen, it's not certified fresh, but that gets you a tomato. You get a tomato for that.
It is.
There it is. There's the tomato. You get a tomato for that.
It's fresh. It's just not certified fresh.
It's not certified fresh.
Right.
Because you have to have fresh piece of trash.
You have to have the certified members give you all positive reviews, and
it's fresh.
140, 62% gave it a positive review.
140 and 62.
But 250,000 people, normal people,
44%. Normal people, not people who are overthinking it. But I would argue with that number too, because then for that one I would also say, how is that actually 44%?
Yeah. All right.
What?
Oh. All right, let's get out of here. On that note,
have a good one.
We are pretty much good. We're gonna see football all this weekend. We have a lot of stuff going on. A lot of healing in this house. We have some serious colds going on, and hopefully that's why I said before, I apologize for the colds that I am
Frankly,
all the coughing and stuff like that, which I was able to mute. I think 90% of them. I think I got a little bit. I think I got most of it done. So anyway,
I put your face on the screen while you were coughing. And
yeah. Absolutely. That's what I did. So thank you guys for listening, watching, taking this in, and you can always hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and we'll let you know whenever we go live. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ShaneandTheBryman or on Twitter at Shane and Bryman. You can find me on Twitter at Einhornusfinkel.
You can find me on Twitter at _Bry_man. And in the words of the great Tony Stark, part of the journey is the end.
Yeah, it is.
And we're at the end of this program. And we're at the end of this week, which is great.
Yep, we will
now
be back
I get to
Monday
go do the work
to give what we've learned, and we'll be talking more stuff. And we're going to try and get to this how is this only and how is this actually a little bit more, do some more Mount Rushmore, get the sort side of stuff going.
Yes, I can tell you that because we are now into my favorite time of the year, as you know, Halloween. All of my movies are going to essentially I'm going to try and have all of mine be in the horror genre.
And you are going to start doing a Funko Friday thing as well.
Wait, that was supposed to be today.
Was it?
Yes. I can do one really quick.
Hurry up. You have like 3 seconds. Here, I'll do this for you.
Funko
16
Friday.
seconds.
Funko Friday. Castiel from Supernatural, who plays the angel on Supernatural. This is sad for me because Supernatural is going into its 15th and final season starting October 10th, I believe. So carry on, my wayward son. We're going to miss you, Kaz.
Oh,
Funko
man,
Friday.
I have that song. I got to put that on there. Carry on my wayward son.
Yeah, I didn't think that through. But we did get a Funko Friday in very quickly.
Yeah.
Funko Fridays will be better going forward.
And you'll do one every Friday. All right, we'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. Till Monday.
Stay classy, Planet Club.
Peace out. Bye.